Good day traders, to entries part 2. So in this video I'm going to break down a simple 3-4 step rules that I need to apply to my trading to get good entries. And if you apply this to all time frames, this could possibly be the only entry educational video that you ever need to find. And then you just need to test it, back test it, look for it on your own charts, and you will be set to go. So I'm going to start off by drawing a simple diagram. It's going to be just for illustration purposes. So I'm going to start with a bearish example. Most probably just going to do bearish examples because, I don't know, it's easy for me to draw. So if we have an impulse down, we create an order block, and that is our move. Now we have a zone over there. So we want to see price coming back into this area. So then we need to patiently wait for price to move around and eventually come back to this area, and then we look for the trade to take in that area. So that is what we want to see, and that is then what we are waiting for. But it's not as always as easy as that. So I'm now going to give you a few tips and tricks that you can apply to your trading in order to capitalize and make good decisions on your trading. So I'm going to make an A over here. So this is A. We're going to look for B. I'm going to explain B. I'm going to talk about C. And we're going to talk about D. And maybe E. I'm not yet sure. We'll see how it goes. But we can maybe have a discussion about E as well. So first of all, let's put some context in here. Text. Okay. So we want a full body candle. B, strong impulse out of the zone. C, liquidity being built actually. D, return to order block, and E will be reaction. That is the things that I need to see. So we need to see a strong impulse out of this zone. So let's now put this to the side. Let's put it down there. So we want to see a full body candle. A strong full body candle that points towards, it shouldn't be an indecision candle, so it should be a full body candle in this area. Small wicks, we don't want to see big wicks, we want to see just price slowly creating that area and then creating that nice zone. So this will be our zone, and for this purpose we'll just make it orange and we'll just put it to the back. Okay, there's our zone now. Then we want the candles pushing out of that zone to be strong candles as well. We want to see full body candles pushing out of this zone, leaving behind imbalance, maybe within this area. So let's just do it like this, make it a bit more realistic. We maybe have a wick here as well. There we have our imbalance now within that area. Then we see price moving along. We want to see price consolidated, creating equal lows, equal highs, equal lows, accumulating orders within this area. Then we want to see price return to that order block. Because what happens in actually when it returns to the order block? A few things. First, we sweep the liquidity above the equal highs. There's the sweep happening over there. We fill the imbalance that's left between these candles. We fill that imbalance and we tap into the order block again. So there we have 1, 2, and 3 confluences already happening within this area. Then we want to typically see a quick reaction out of that area, showing us that we are really on the right side of the trade. We have the orders backing it. We are with the banks or institutions or whatever you want to call it. You can then say, oh, I'm an institutional trader. I trade with the institutions. You can say that if you want to. But basically, we're just trading from an area where there's liquidity. And that's all you need to tell yourself. You don't need to say, I'm an institutional trader. You can just say, we're trading with liquidity. So we found the liquidity. We see there's liquidity. So there is your reaction. So you can either get the immediate reaction, get the entry from there, or you can wait for price to show you the reaction, then return for a retest of an order block, and then take the entry. There's your number 4. And then write it down. So this is not about take profit, this is just about entries. We'll get back to take profits in a later video. But I hope this makes sense. So when you have your zone and you have price creating this area, you have your strong full body candle, you have impulsive moves outside, moving outside of that zone, you have the accumulation, you have the orders being built up, you have the price tapping into the imbalance, tapping into the order block, and you take the trade towards the downside. So just memorize this sketch, draw it up for yourself, and you'll see how often this happens, and this happens on all the time frames. We're going to quickly look at a few examples and then that will wrap up this video. Here we have a nice example on the 5-minute. We have a relatively full body candle, bit of a wicks on the side, but majority of the candle is there. We have a nice impulse pushing towards the outside. We have imbalance created over there. We can just indicate it like that. We have this accumulation area, price building up, liquidity on the upside, liquidity on the downside, and then we see price coming back into this area. We can place our stop loss either above the zone or above the wick. Have a set 5R risk to reward. If you want to talk take profit, there is your setup. Here we have EU. We possibly have a nice potential here as well. We can see we have our order block over there, strong impulse towards the downside, imbalance left there. We can see price slowly building up, moving sideways a bit over there. We have some equal highs. Price then pumps into the highs, breaks the high, sweeps the liquidity, taps into the order block, and we see the price moving down further towards the downside. Entry in that zone, 50% of that zone, 5R. There we have the trade. Here we have an example on the 30-minute time frame. We have a order block over there. We have our imbalance a little bit there, but it's there. We have this bunch of accumulation, liquidity created, price moving sideways, then price dips into our area. We see the reaction, trade opportunity in there. You can take 50% off this level. I'm just trying to show you that there is multiple opportunities on multiple time frames that you can capitalize on if you just follow these steps. And the more you practice it, the more you'll see them better and better. It's not every day that you're going to see a good opportunity. It's not every day you'll see it on every time frame, but in general, you'll be able to find something on some pair somewhere during the day. Still on the 30-minute time frame, this is also a very nice example. We have a very nice full body candle. We have an impulse towards the downside. We have price leaving imbalance. This is actually a very good example. We then have price accumulating, creating equal highs over there. That's our liquidity. And then we see the sweep of the liquidity, filling the imbalance and tapping into the order block, and we see price mounting towards the downside. Entry 50%, stop loss just above the wick. If you aim for your 5R, you would have really gotten there quickly. If you aim for the liquidity low, you would have gotten your 13R trade. So I hope this makes sense and I hope you understand it. That's it for this video. Please subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, and then I'll see you in the next one.